know, but I'm recording the dog right now. You right there, mate? You right there, pal? You found a nice little pillow? Yeah? What's time? Gotta keep 20 to 12. Gotta keep it real. I got up, walked the dogs, come back, fell asleep, and I just woke up. Fucked it. Yes, YouTube. Good morning. Good morning. It's Monday. It's another vlog, and yeah, like I just said, it's somehow 20 to 12, and I've got to go and train. So yeah, very, very fun. I thought we'll show everyone my new goodie, right? Got a webcam. Got a webcam for me chickens. Doesn't make my face look any more beautiful in the spots. Look how fucking bright that is. What the... Mate, absolutely blinds me. But in today's video, I've got to go and train in a sec, so I'll try and get some footage. I'll get some footage, but it's a deload squat session, which unfortunately is a part of training. But when I say deload, right, it's not the bodybuilding deload. That's not what I'm doing. I actually have a normal bodybuilding session. But if anyone's seen my fancy doing my powerlifting squat at the start of sessions and my powerlifting bench, and now my powerlifting deadlift, I'm doing that in a certain way. And in week 4, you've got to basically do all full weight for 5 reps and 3 sets of it. And it's like, yeah, it's just a deload. So yeah, I'll get into some of that film, but what I will probably go over, is the plans going forward. Because so far we've had, why didn't I prep? Well, why I stopped the prep. Then we've had my prep cycle, which I don't actually remember if I said what my new cycle was. So I'll go over that a little bit. But basically it was 300 tests and that was it. But this week I'm actually going to bring it down to 240 just because I'm aromatizing, which is the side effects or the aromatization potentially from testosterone. You get sometimes like sensitive nipples and water retention and all that good stuff are signs of it. But I've brought my dose down to that, which just brings me closer to the natural range even more. I'm going to lose all my strength and all my gains. Oh, God. But yeah, no, I might talk about that, to be fair, as well. Because kind of goes in line with, well, what's next? And the answer probably is... So I'm not going to do the food. We'll do a full day of eating soon because you need to hear the plan first, then you understand. Not too sure what to show you for the food, even though there is a plan to it. But seeing as these vlogs do the day-to-day, I do have a bit in the morning and then a bit later on where I do work, I do coach. And I'm not going to be one of those little gays that sets the camera up in the corner and speeds up me talking to a fucking camera and just making it look like I'm really professional, because I can't be fucked and look gay as fuck. But essentially, I don't really know how online coaching is perceived too much, apart from people who get into it think they're going to earn absolutely loads and it's the funniest job ever. I mean, the thought of it, don't get me wrong, I don't feel like it's a job, and yeah, it is obviously very, very enjoyable, but it is sitting at a computer, and I don't want to show the WhatsApp messages too much, but essentially this is what my screen looks like most of the time. Client messages on the left, and then their doc open on the right, going through check-ins to see if I can scroll down a little bit. And then, yeah, like this is what they're going over. Like this is actually a bit of a template. I don't want to show you everything, but like meal plan, the training set up here, nice and easy. Peds for people if they're there. Check-in photos that are done there. There's a check-ins thing. There's a daily tracker. There's a timeline. So all the good stuff. And like I say, this is just a bit of a tracker a bit of a template at the moment. But essentially, a lot of the work is when people check in. It's going over their photos, how their week's been, and making any changes. So that's the fun part. I'm not gonna lie, it probably takes like 15-20 minutes per person. Bearing in mind, you just got to go on their stuff, read their stuff first, make sure you do the changes before you do a video. Some videos are really quick, some videos aren't. Then there is, I suppose, the content aspect, which is things like this, but more so the reels that you'll see on the page and stuff like that. There's things where you can be learning. So at the moment, me and my missus are currently watching, I think it's ICM Education. So just learning even more, because you never learn too much. But enough with the boring stuff. This is just obviously part of my day. Now, like I say, morning block. I ain't calling it a morning block. Em just heard me say morning block and thought, you gay. I do some stuff in the morning. At the moment, it's kind of been check-ins. Then I'll go gym, which I've had my pre-meal, so I'll go gym in like 30 minutes, 45 minutes. Have my pre and whatnot. And then when I come back, I'm not going to lie, I'll probably nap. I nap most times after gym. Might not today because I've already slept extra. But then, yeah. But before we go, This is what a dog who really wants attention looks like if it will scroll down. Hey, Gus boy! You say hello? So we're on the way to the gym. I'm on the way to Greens, like I said. We've got it's a bit of a deloady squat session, which, as you can tell just by me saying, I really can't be arsed. Deloady sessions to me are just are what they are. But that kind of leads me nicely into what is next for me, because I think a big problem for me, again, not sure if anyone else will go through this, it completely, I suppose it depends on, look, I've taken bodybuilding seriously for, well, last 15 years, but really seriously, like not missing a beat for at least the last 5 or 6, every single day. But ever since my first shows in 21, 22, I can't remember, when I won the Novice Hampshire and then the Novice Brits, I don't know, my training I've just been searching. I've been searching for why do I not enjoy training as much as I did before then. And what I mean by that is, I used to have the split, what was it, pull, push legs, rest, upper, lower, rest. Couldn't do that now, I'd absolutely die. But I used to absolutely scream and send it every single set. Like, I just absolutely loved it. Finished the workout, I'm looking forward to the one tomorrow. And not to say I don't like training. Of course, I don't miss a session. So I obviously like to train, but I just seem to miss that fire that I think I had when I was younger, which is odd. And I'm still trying to figure out what that is. Like same again, going to training. Like what I'm doing at the moment is the 4 days a week, which works nicely. I mean, like, I definitely enjoy the powerlifting style lifts that I'm doing at the start sessions, and then the bodybuilding after. I can't lie, I'm just trying to like maintain what I've got and what I'm doing, understanding that I'm on less drugs and stuff. So, and this is the first time in a long while I'll be coming like on a much lower amount and then eventually off. I haven't been off since I started, because ultimately, yes, when I say I haven't been off, you can't just blast your cycle. You can't be above that natural range. So what you do is you cruise, like I explained in the last video. So I've had lots of cruises, I've had cycles within that, but I haven't allowed my natural production to come back. So there's all these things in my mind, I suppose, with training. I'm just trying to figure it out, like, do I want to bodybuild and do I want to compete? In my head at the moment, no. Do I want to bodybuild and train? Like, that's the minimum for me, I think. Potentially, do I want to power lift? I feel like there's a little bit of me that just wants to do one comp for the fun of it. Although I have tried, I just don't like their training. I like the big lifts, but the accessory shit I just find boring as fuck. So yeah, it's a little bit weird on that one. But look, first things first, in terms of what I'm doing, actually, just to caveat that, I've got my camera attached here, so that's why I'm not really looking at the camera, and I'm on a straight road. But with what I've got ultimately is an extended time on kind of a cruise / TRT, probably the longest cruise I would have done in years, so that's good for health. And then there'll be Operation Baby Ronnie Coleman, well, Baby White Ronnie Coleman, so fertility, which obviously, like, you being completely like honest, it's definitely not as head fuck as I think it could have been. It can be for some people. Like for me, I'm so content with that. It's not that. I'm actually really positive about not having a plan. But at the same time, obviously, it's just trying not to have those thoughts of getting ahead of myself. Oh, I should do this, I should do that, and then be like, oh no, I can't. But I don't mean it like, oh no, I can't, in terms of, oh fuck. Like, I'm just like, oh shit, no, I can't. So ultimately, look, training for me, my recovery is going to be down. I need to probably find a way to be a bit more intense in sessions, but as a minimum, it's just a bit of chill time, and I'm not just physically, like mentally as well. I think I don't want to say I'm burnt out. I think preps just kill me off. Every time I've done a prep, they kill me off, weirdly, for a host of reasons. So, but yeah, what I do post that, I don't know, like food wise, my body weight is kind of staying around 118. I think I'll know if there's a position where, whilst I'm coming off and I'm getting just weight, like things are softening up and that, like I know how to get back in shape for 2 seconds. It ain't gonna take me that long. But yeah, it's just like training. It's almost just a bit of maintenance for a while, which is really boring on the sound of it. But at the same time, I'm kind of hoping it allows me to figure out what the next steps are, and like I think we all do, try not to put pressure on ourselves to do that. I think work is definitely helps, right? Because I've got the most people I ever have off the back of me getting in shape off of the like failed prep, whatever. But again, because I'm so many years down the line, I'm a lot like super confident in everything I'm doing coaching wise. So with new people, there's just more confidence, like it's just more fun. And with the coaching as well, it's probably good. Yes, got competitors, but I've got a load of the lads that I like to work with who are getting ready for, I suppose, summer. So there's a host of, like, let's call it results. I could easily post people at the moment as well, because they're like halfway through and they made massive changes when you put the photos next to each other. But look, everyone wants to wait till they're like finished, not finished, but last little bit. And I say not finished because we all always want more. But yeah, just going back to what I'm doing, like, yeah, realistically, do I think I'll ever get on stage again? The case of never say never, but at the same time, I'm not in a rush to decide. Look, I'd have to go back on, like, do I need to go back on cycles I was before, which weren't relatively high, but like I could go on less if I just wanted to almost like recreationally bodybuild and recreationally train and just not compete. Like, I don't need to. I think the other thing in my mind, weirdly, like when I won those shows, it meant absolutely nothing to me. Like I didn't get anything out of it. And I just kind of thought at the time, what a waste of time, right? So that plays in the back of my mind. Weirdly as well, I've got way bigger than I thought I ever would from when I started. So there is a massive issue of being content in terms of if I wanted to compete. Like, if you're content, then when you get to a certain point and you need to push on, your body's like, no, I'm good. Well, not your body, your mind's like, no, I'm good as well. And I've lifted shit I never thought I'd lift. Like, realistically, do I need to lift more than a 340 kilo deadlift and a 300 kilo squat? Again, I'm talking about the lifts, but I've done 8 plates on a hack, like on a Cybex. Like, I don't know. But that's where my head's at, so hopefully it doesn't bore all of you. But there was a few of you lads that obviously messaged me as well, saying I think the exact same about bodybuilding. Like I said it before in the first video, I find it hard as an amateur, maybe because I've done sport at a high level when I was younger. Played for West Ham, went against the top 10 in the country at long jump, and I was good at rugby. I just find it hard to be competitive, and the more I think about it, like I like watching the pros. But again, I think, yeah, unless I was going against the best in the world, which I suppose you can do, you pick the shows, but it's an expensive sport. It's an expensive sport to get to that point. So yeah, focus on work, baby white Ronnie Coleman on the way, figure out what I want to do training wise. And to be honest, I want to try and almost put myself in a position of being in the client's shoes of before they come to me, before they get a coach. So look, I have no accountability but to myself at the moment. I'll show you a full day of eating, which to be honest is only really 4 meals. 4 to 5 meals of normal bodybuilding meals, hence why my weight's staying the same. I haven't added the macros up whatsoever, so I have no idea what I'm eating. And then if I want stuff on the side or want whatever off play at the weekend or during the week, I do. So yeah, it's all trying to experience that without just going, I suppose, ballistic one way or the other. So yeah, the next plans, a lot of joke, we'll have a kid and I'll go back, I'll have 3 grams of gear and you'll see me trying to go to the Olympia, but I don't know. With bodybuilding is to be continued, I think. And just quickly, I've just arrived to the gym. Another thing, I don't know what it is that affects me to do with will I do bodybuilding again? And because it's not that I think that people don't talk about it. I don't really know how to explain it. It's like, so social media, Instagram, it's made the whole bodybuilding / fitness influency, they're all kind of meshed together. It's made it so different to what it used to be when I got into it, and hence why I do love the training, but it's just such a different climate, I suppose. Is that the right words? Like, it's just so different to what it used to be, and I do feel like it's definitely something where you feel like a bit of an old grump, like one of those old grumps in the gym and you don't like change and all that. But it definitely has an effect. Even if I don't look at Instagram, like during prep or during off season or whatever, like I like to see how everyone's doing. I don't know. I sometimes I think, is it because, look, I've always been one of them people, if everyone's doing something, I don't like to do it. And no, I do not mean it in the way of, oh look, you're all sheep and like mugging people off. if anything, it's weird. I'm just like, oh, I can't bother to do it. Like, if everyone's bought the same, I don't know, something, I'll be like, I'll get something else. And that is kind of bodybuilding to me. Like, I wanted to do something that people didn't do, which they don't. Like, but even when I grew up Brentwood, at least in the gyms and my friend group back then, like no one pushed it further and stuff like that. So yeah, it is a bit of an odd one. Like, it definitely, when I say Instagram and social media, I don't even think I mean directly. I think I mean like subconsciously on like a weird level. It just kind of, I don't know, there's just almost like a sigh, and I can't really pinpoint what that is. Is it like, I don't know, if things go wrong or things go right, is it an ego thing? Is it a jealousy thing because people who are half your size and that are doing well, and like, or whatever? Is it the lack of, like, there's just a lack of people, like, it could be a bit of jealousy, I suppose, but people getting somewhere that offers no respect. Like, you respect the people who are bigger and the people who are stronger because of the work they've put in. Like, there's a massive thing about like putting the work in. And training and just getting on with it. But obviously nowadays social media is full of people that haven't done that, are half the size, and I don't know whether they're good at marketing, speaking, they've all got their own thing. But yeah, it definitely has an effect to add to that. But anyway, I'll stop waffling. Honestly, I think I should have brought you guys along for a better session. So I've done my hamstrings. Now, if I was programming this session for a client, so this is my first deload set, like 110 for 5, well 108 for 5, but I would have done hamstrings. I used to get people to do top set and back off on the hamstrings, but to be honest, I like to switch up my clients' training between some of that mechanical tension, top set and back off, and also just old school pump, some of that metabolic stuff. So yeah, I usually do kind of 3 sets, 12-15 on the first. But this squat is just 110 for 5, 135 for 5, or have I lied? And then maybe 150, 160 for 5, but it's a pile of piss, hence why I can talk whilst I'm doing it. But yeah, I'll just film the sets, but like I say, this is week 4, so this is the deload, which is boring as fuck. But it's gotta be done. Yeah, so the second set is the 50% times 5, so that's 50% of 270, so 135 is the second set. But you won't be able to see them because I can't bother to bring the camera down. But I did get some squat shoes for this. And if you've got shit knee flexion, aka your knee mobility is awful, and my knee wouldn't go past my shoes, I used to squat, yeah, in a very different way, but now I can actually work on my setup some more wider. And I've actually been practicing my bracing and stuff, and the way you get under the bar and everything. So, but like I said, this is still, I probably don't need to brace for this because it's only 135. No offense if you can't do it. Very weird not wearing knee sleeves, I must admit. Oh, now I've got 60%, so what's that? 135, 162, I think. Alright, so this is the 162 and a half, I think. I actually got, I don't know if you see that, I actually got a strength shot belt, so it's 13mm, proper powerlifting one, and I'll tell you what, it is game changing. And also, if you just see at the start of this clip, I've got a Coach by Cal tee on, and I've decided I'm going to get some Coach by Cal bits, so if anyone has any ideas of when I can get that from, that'll be good. I'm not used to doing this without my sleeves. It does feel weird because my knees are like fucking China. As in the plates, not as in the country. And as you can tell by my breathing, I'm a fat cunt. Just trying to work on my bracing then, because I cannot brace for shit. But that is literally it, the most boring 3 sets ever. So like I said, next time I'll bring you along for a much more intense session, but I am a fat fuck. So that is my session concluded. Nice little leg session. Greens, and I'll see if I can get the old. Oh no, it's not looking at my head. Oh, you can see it over there. It's greens over there. But yeah, I wasn't gonna bore you guys with the rest of the session. Oh, looks like I got some weird hat on. I wasn't gonna bore you guys with the rest of the session. Like I say, very deloady, and my training at the moment is very much minimal, effective volume. 2 to 3 sets after what you saw hamstring squats. Squats is specific, and it's always 3 sets, but there are warm-ups. But ultimately, after that, it is just, yeah, adductor, light leg curl, leg extensions, calves. At the moment, I'm not doing any other squat pattern. Simply saving my knees, but also, like I say, minimal recoverable volume. Minimal recoverable volume. But yeah, also I'm not in that phase of gaining muscle, so for me it's just like, yeah, I'd rather save my legs in terms of recovery for them big squats, which start again next week, but they'll go from the 5 reps week 1, 3 reps week 2, and then 5-3-1 in week 3, which is the biggest set as well. But I also thought, whilst I was in the gym, before I leave, there is another reason why this is going to sound so big-headed, but also it is a bit of an annoyance, and I don't know how many people can relate, but I'm very much used to progressive overload. I'm very much used to chasing numbers, but with good form, you know, bodybuilding sense, breaking down muscle, keeping the tension, not moving it from A to B like I am with the squats. But I can stack most things. Like I can't progress on a lot of stuff. At least at the gyms near me, like I can pretty much. You've obviously got barbell stuff, but I can max out every dumbbell. Barbell stuff, yeah, to an extent I can do, but there's only so many barbell things you can do. And so that for me is also then trying to find, when the time comes, how do I don't know, you got Milos's fucking giant sets and stuff, like, do I start to do more voluminous work with heavy weights? So I personally know that if I lift stupid weight too much, my body dies. I throw up, I go home, I throw up, I have the shits, my CNS is in bits, I go white. So there is that aspect as well, but then there's the level of enjoyment versus, and that's the dilemma. But like I say, that was a tiny bit of an insight into, like, I put hamstrings first, and that's what my sessions look like at the moment. That was the most boring squats. I probably should have picked a better session, but look, I can only do it week by week. But those big squats do come from next week, and then I'll be able to push it, and I'll wear knee sleeves and all that good stuff. And that reminds me, there was something I was going to say. Oh, buy squat shoes, they're amazing. The belt, amazing. Learning how to brace and squat properly, amazing. I feel like something else. The knee sleeves, amazing. I feel like there was one little gadget that I'm forgetting. But anyway, I'm not sure. Go home, get some post-workout in. Normally, I'm not gonna lie, normally I have a pack of the big Haribo, because that's like 100 and whatever gram of carbs, along with my post-workout meal, because I like to get a lot of carbs in, but I haven't got them today, so. Oh, I have just finished my evening block. No, I've just finished my evening load of check-ins, which, to be fair, because I'm taking you through, like, this is really how a normal day is, like walking the dogs twice, doing some morning work, doing some evening works, having a nap, getting food and going training. Like, this is why I actually find the vlogging stuff a little bit harder, because I'm not someone who I'm not someone who has much else going on in their day, like random things. I've obviously filmed those random things when I do them, but yeah, it's coaching though. Honestly, that's my day-to-day job. It's very fun at this point in time. Ultimately, every year it is busy, but I am at my most I've ever had in terms of people, which is great. And it's that we're in that kind of midway point of when they started around about Feb, March into going into summer. So you've already got, like, not a before and after, but like progress photos of people that are just changing drastically. People just, a lot of them are fat loss. I've obviously got people who are just physique development and have been with me ages. Usually the ones that completely try and change your physique. Oh, you got to work with someone for 18 months, 2 years. The longer you work with them, the more you're going to do, the more phases you're going to do. But you get a lot of the lifestyle people who are trying to get in shape just for a holiday. So it's mainly fat loss, which is pretty simple as long as the person is pretty consistent. I can't really think of anyone who's actually joined who's... Yeah, this time around, I can't really think. Don't get me wrong, you get tons of people. Like over the years, I've had people pay me for a year and never check in, never message, and tried to message them 4 or 5 times, tried to ring them, nothing, just paid me for a year. Absolutely ridiculous. But yeah, no, in terms of everyone at the moment, I don't think there's no one that's actually hard work in terms of like they're struggling to stick to it. So it is a fun time. But yeah, getting back to the what is next. I answered a lot of it in the car, but it is one of those things where I think if I didn't have the perspective and attitude, I don't know what that, not attitude, that's not the right word, but like how I'm perceiving what I'm doing at the moment, and I'm not getting on top of myself, I feel like most people would be like, oh shit, I don't know what to do, and getting down because you're seeing yourself like my body's getting a little bit flatter because I'm coming off the cycle. I'm obviously not as lean, but I prefer not being lean, so that doesn't bother me in the slightest. Training's pretty shite. And that's the only thing that I'm a bit like, oh, but my discipline, like you'll hear me say all these things like this and that, but what do? I don't know how much I'm eating, but look, I've been doing this long enough that I know 4 or 5 meals, this amount of carbs and protein, just by looking at it, I know what I'm doing, I know I'm eating enough. Training, like I know what to do as like a minimum. So yeah, especially if any clients are watching this thinking, oh, he's not on it. I'm on it year round. Even if I'm even for me not being on it is still probably more on it than 99% of people. But yeah, it's a hard one with the competing, man. Like I'm completely honest. I don't think a lot of people say this, but I just fucking hate prep. I don't like the look. I don't like being leaner. There is a middle period, definitely a middle period where I do enjoy it. I'm very productive. I'm on it. I'm cardio. I'm watching the podcast with cardio. I'm walking. I feel good, but it's so short-lived, and the effect that it has, it's just more so. Look, honestly, when it gets hard, I can get to body fat that most people can't. And to be honest, sometimes you have to look at photos and be like, I was a lot, not that I was lean. I think I was leaner than I thought, to an extent, but I know how lean I can get. So when I touch my body fat, I'm like, no, I can get way leaner. But it's, I don't know, my body just goes to shit. Like, I can look good, but my head goes, and that's something I heavily worked on since my last show. So I've been in the best headspace for the last two and a half years, thanks to therapy, thanks to a tablet that I have, and then it was starting to go, and I was like, why have I started this prep? I much prefer to protect my head than do this show. So that's another thing. But yeah, I find it, the last 10%, completely honest, I struggle. I've struggled before with hunger, but this time not hunger at all. And it's just one of those. I've had bad experiences of preps because I just don't enjoy them. The shows mean nothing. So it's very hard for me to sit here and say I want to compete again. I believe from a arrogance. From a non-arrogant point of view, I believe I have the makeup. I believe I have the shape and potential in this day and age to turn pro. Maybe not 10, 15 years ago when it was a lot of a different landscape. Like I explained, that's one thing that's kind of put me off, is the landscape, how it is. It's just different. Not really my cup of tea. But I have the potential to, and then it's just up to me, which I'm not putting pressure on to think right now. It's up to me, look, do I just bite the bullet, suffer again, try and go for it? I don't know. It is a very much, I don't know. I do feel like that, look, if we try for a kid and we have one, I think my head will massively be so focused on being a dad and being the best everything there that I just can't see it. I think I'd rather just be strong as hell, big. And by this point, look, I can be. I think I just need to figure out. I think the main thing here is, regardless of competing, I need to figure out post potentially having a baby, if that everything goes well there, like my training, just the day-to-day enjoyance and fire of that training. But yeah, who knows? Who knows what we're doing? Never say never, so I'm not going to say I won't compete. You'll probably still see me do cuts at some point, and I'll post them up. Who knows? I'm definitely one of them who prefers a short cut, so I might just jump in and be like, oh, I've done it before. 3 weeks out, oh, fuck it, I'll jump in, get a bit leaner. But yeah, in terms of that, 240 milligrams test for now will come completely off soon. But I'm probably just going to cruise on this for a while, try and hold as much as I can, keep food in a good point, and really just chilling, focusing on clients, which is cool. And focusing on the YouTube, of course. Now, if there's anything you guys actually want to see, want to hear about, then please do let me know. I don't mind getting on camera. As you'll see, I'm in the gym. But I need ideas, bruv. I need ideas, because I think people like watching the vlogs. Look, we all like watching the vlogs. We want to see inside someone's life. You want me to be real and be like, look, that's a load of crap on top of a thing. Like you've seen my bike, I think earlier. Like there's clothes on the bike, mate. I need to clean up, but this is just keeping it how it is. Like I'm not gonna make everything fancy and that. People want to see inside people's lives. I think people want to know about drugs and take beds. I think people want to know about the bodybuilding. I think people want to know about training, about food. So that will come full day of eating, potentially some more on training. But a lot of the stuff you can get on Instagram and the reels and that. So with the vlogs, like, I will just be taking you through the day-to-day, life-to-life. I think it will definitely become even more so when if we do try. We've actually got our wedding booked, and then I think we're going to be essentially trying after that. We shall see. But then I could document that. I'll be like, right, whoa, this is what, and that's what I'm going to try and document at the moment. Is like, right, well, for someone who's been on for 5 years, like Blasting and Cruising, who's probably not going to compete now, but still wants to look like a bodybuilder. How am I doing that? Mental challenges, yeah, well, I'll go through them. At the moment, I'm pretty fine with everything. Like, I'm super relaxed. I like the fact that I'm not on a plan, because I already know a plan in my head. But I mean, like, to the T of someone doing something, telling me what to do, and be like, but yes, so what, I don't even know what we've had so far since the show. So I've had the why I quit the prep and the peds and what's happening next. So next week, I don't know, should I just do 30 minutes of me dancing and be like, bosh? But yeah, no, we're all good. And I will see you, YouTube, in the next one. Like, comment, subscribe, etc.